Hi guys, it's Jada. Today we're going to talk about chapters 9 to 12 in The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Okay, so how would you describe The Secret Garden? And while some things are dead, other things are alive. Like what? And Mary cleared out some space for the pale green points. Do you think that was the right thing to do, or not a good thing to do? And well, Dicken, so they asked Dicken to do what for them? And then chapter 10, so they meet Dicken. How does she meet Dicken? And how do you like him? How do you like Dicken? And do you think it's cool that the animals come to him? And about Ben Weatherstaff, how would you describe him? Do you think he's a nice guy or a mean guy in your opinion? And the animals coming to Dicken, do you think that's realistic too? And why do you think that Mary trusted Dicken in the first place? And okay, so they began to garden. And how can you know that a rose is dead or if it's alive? And what is the Yorkshire word for alive? And now, so now they're pruning and all that. And do you think that this is very good teamwork? And that if Mary had kept the secret, that it would have not worked out well? And silver bells. Is there any flowers that look like silver bells actually? And also in chapter 12. So how did Mary like Dicken? And what did she say about Dicken that most interested you? And so who is Mary gonna meet with? And why is she so glad that he is going away the next day? And why is Mary so nervous in your opinion? And do you think that Mr. Craven, how do you think about him? And do you think that if his wife hadn't died, he would have been a very nice man? And also, do you like that Mr. Craven is just alone and not with anybody else? Do you think that he's lonely and he should just start back up? How do you think? And Dicken, what did he write about? He left a piece of paper behind. And how did you think of that? Do you think it was sort of like a symbol? Also, so who even convinced Mr. Craven to speak to Mary? And what does Mary want from Mr. Craven? And also, I'm just going back a little, and also, and also the Secret Garden. If you had been Mary, would you have liked the Secret Garden, or at least how would you have made the Secret Garden? Mary's making it into a flower garden. How would you have made the garden? Would you have made it into a vegetable garden, a flower garden, or just a garden that's just beautiful with flowers and trees and stuff like that? How would you make it? And also, what does Miss Mary also insist to Mr. Craven? And what was your favorite part in these chapters and so far in the book? Both of them in these chapters and then so far in the book. And then, how do you think of the book so far now? And I wanted to ask you, and so they sent and now Mary has changed. How has she changed now? And why is Ben Weatherstaff, and I'm just going back randomly, okay, and then I meant, but anyway, why is Ben Weatherstaff sort of at first a little, not mean, I guess, but a little mean to the Robin, but the Robin sort of doesn't care, right? So why do you think Ben Weatherstaff is like that? But anyway, I hope that you really enjoyed this book. This is one of my all-time favorite books. And I hope that you enjoy this one too. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time for some other chapters and maybe also other books. Because I have other books too, like Walk to Moons, Cricket in Times Square, Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, But Not Buddy, and I'm getting ready, and also Number the Stars, and I'm also getting ready to do some other books. And there are tons of more books that I just listed. And I hope that you have a great day, like I said before. Bye! I wanted to ask you some more questions because I just thought that it was going to be very more questions for chapters 9 to 12. And about Mary getting that key, do you think that it was luck or do you think it was fate? Do you even believe in fate? And Dicken said that someone else had pruned the garden, right? Who do you think did prune that garden? And do you think it's a little creepy or do you think it's an exciting mystery? And also, to Mary, why is getting fatter better? I mean, to us, maybe not, but why is getting fatter better to Mary? And why is Mary, and why does Ben Weatherstaff get a little suspicious at Mary when she begins to ask questions? And so, Dicken, right? So Dicken, when she meets Dicken, what impression did Dicken give you? Like, I did ask that before, but this time I want to ask you, like, if you had, like, what kind of, if you had to choose, let's say, 3 words to describe him, then how would you describe him? This is a little different, I guess, than the other question I asked about Dicken, but still. And also, what was Dicken's dinner, and if you had to be Dicken, would you have liked it or would you have not liked it? Because it's not like the best dinner in the world, you know what I'm saying. And also, Mr. Craven, when you didn't read this part, how did you feel about Mr. Craven? And before you read it, and after you read it, how did you feel about Mr. Craven? And Martha, Martha is very nice to Mary, right? So do you think that Martha is nice to Mary because Mary is the only girl who is sort of her age? Of course, Martha is about 15, I guess, and Mary's 10, but it's better than. Well, I think this is the first girl that was not her sister, Martha's sister. So, and now Mary is treating her a little good back to Martha. Do you agree or do you disagree? And what does the drawing and the words that Dicken left Mary symbolize? And also, if you had to talk about Mrs. Medlock, how do you feel about Mrs. Medlock? And do you think the reason she's mean is because she lost her husband? And also, were you surprised when Mary loved Dicken so much? Like, not in the marrying type, but the other way. And Also, I just wanted to tell you that